So today we have a lot of parts that came in for this car. So we're gonna be opening the package, checking everything out, seeing, make sure everything's in good condition. But this should solve this turbo issue. So let's go take a look at it. Yes, this is what we have. It's a top mount, so this should be able to fit with a little bit of modifications. So I'm about to take off this exhaust, move the alternator down, and then start installing the alternator relocation bracket, and then test for the manifold. So hopefully everything goes smoothly. Wish me luck. So originally I did move the alternator down with a little self-made plate. So now that's done. So now I'm gonna take this off and put an innovative one on to see if that works. Ooh, a lot of room. Now I gotta change that belt. I think they said it was a 27-inch. So I gotta try the innovative side just to be sure. I can order that up from the parts store. And now we're gonna fit this on. But heavy, so I'm gonna need 2 hands for that. Ooh. So that fits. Now we're just gonna tighten it up a little bit and slide some. Put the turbo on just to see where it lines up, because I know everything has been modified for the downpipe, but I was hoping I could get away with the runners, and it looks like I might. Okay, it's pretty damn close to the alternator still, but I guess people's running like that with no issues. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna get the other half for the turbo, slap it on, and see where we land. Slight issue. Turbo's upside down. But it looked like so I just gotta take everything off and reclock it, and it should go down. The adapter, because it's a T3 turbo, and the manifold is a T4. So I made a adjustment, a T3 to T4 bolting flange. So more than likely I just have to figure out what I'm gonna do about that flange. I think I have another adapter, that way it'll just bolt on and I could just, you know, reclock the turbo. But yeah, so far it looks like it fits. I'm pretty happy with it. Looks like I will be able to make a downpipe right here, go down with no real issues. And yeah, so this is looking very promising. So let me work on the turbo, take out the housing, and figure out what I'm going to do about the adjustment. So here's a new setup. We got the top mount manifold, the turbo is there. So now I'm trying to figure out what to do with this little section. So yeah, it's very, very close. Doesn't look like it'll fit. It's off by a few, maybe by a half an inch is off, so I can't just run a hose to it. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do. There's a chance I may have to move this down, because eventually I will upgrade this whenever I do this, so whatever. So yeah, this is my little issue dilemma. I'm trying to figure out how to, basically the best way to pipe this. So I may actually close this off and just put like an opening down here, just like I did over on this side. So I might just have to do something like that. Just weld on the side, have the piping come out. So after a whole bunch of taking on and off The adapter plate is on. This is a T4 to T3 because the turbo is a T3 and the manifold is a T4. So this is the one that my friend made. So we just had it, so now everything is bolted on. So this should be fine. So now I could just bolt it from the top with no issues for the turbo side. So that should be good. So I'm gonna slap everything back together. Still gotta get that belt, but so that's the adapter that's on for the T3 to T4. So everything's bolted down, the gasket's in. So now I'm gonna bolt it back up on the car and try to figure out the intercooler setting now. Oh, that's kind of how it's gonna set. It's gonna go from here. I'm gonna weld another elbow onto here, so it'll just come out and just go straight in like that. So that should solve this problem, and I'm gonna be able to just get rid of this, just like we did on this side. So yeah, that's how it's gonna work. I know I might just cut off all of this right here. This I could just put the factory hood pin, well, the factory locking mechanism. Put the factory lock back on, and because I don't think this intercooler is really gonna be able to handle any crazy amount of power, so yeah, at least for stock this should be good. But if I ever want to upgrade, I definitely will need a new intercooler then anyway, so I don't know, we'll see. So I'm sure you guys are used to this site by now. Car's apart again, making a few more changes. So new manifold is on, reclock the turbo, debating if I want to run the internal gate or actually build an exhaust for the wastegate right there. So for right now I'm doing that, but we're going to focus on making the intake pipe. So I have a 2.5 inch elbow, which is the pipe I'm using, or I could use a 2 inch, which is the one that's on this right now. So that's a 2 inch elbow we're going to be welding onto the intercooler, and this is a 2.5 inch elbow. So I'm debating which one I want to use. If I want to use a 2.5, at least I know if I ever upgrade, you know, I could do this. But generally most of the turbos, the outlet's always 2 inches, so like if I put that on, I should be fine for the future. But yeah, so I'm gonna be taking everything out, measuring everything up, measure 4 or 5 times, and then drill once. I have to cut it kind of like how I did this, clean it up a little bit, and basically cut the same thing over here. Cut about this much out and bolt make the hole about right here somewhere, about right here probably. Okay, so here's the turbo setup. That's the new manifold, and I got the oil pan welded and the manifold welded up today. So right now what I'm doing is just clean up all the surface to make sure I can put the new gasket on with no issues. So it seems as if I may have to take the alternator bracket out just so to clean the surface, put the pan on, and then put everything back up to have no problem. So I'm gonna have that taken care of, and then I'll be right back.
I live inside my own world of make-believe.